This is the biggest reason I like to include music and film. There is a genuine interest by younger learners, and older learners can make associations as well. It appeals to all age groups. The real world connections that can be made are paramount. I start off by explaining throughout the course as we learn how an audience acquires and processes information. To not forget to tailor speeches to auditory and visual learners. I always remind my students how they learned when they were little, often through sound. As children, we are taught to recall information by using three techniques: repetition, redundancy, and rhythm. The third thing I want to talk about is how music along with film can enhance learning. In my communication classes, I tried to stress the connection that can be made between music and interpersonal communication. When you think of popular songs or your favorite songs, what are these songs usually about? What are the themes that seem to be there no matter what genre you are listening to? I use film and television almost daily to further explain course content and make connections for my students from examples that are sometimes more honest and genuine than those in the book. Films can be used to teach both interpersonal and group communication. I have had students watch a film and identify the interpersonal dialogue, what is being said, and how it may be misinterpreted. With this in mind, you have to consider, why is music and film an important method of instruction? There are a lot of important lifelong learning skills and global education opportunities that can be gained through music and film in the classroom as an instructional method. I like to include foreign films whenever I can because I find the dialogue is really explorative. They are a great way to expand the understanding of other cultures and help students make connections between cultural diversity and the similarities and dissimilarities in communication that can happen. Often, students, when learning how to appeal to common ground or needs and values, become confused. Using foreign films helps them to understand how the United States has different societal and cultural ideas about a number of topics, such as success, death, family, sex, and media, to name a few. An entirely different angle that is a great exploration of language is looking at dialects and accents. Now I'd like to share some examples of how I use music and film in my classroom. I'm also a big fan of television to convey ideas. Examples using clips can connect with learners in a number of ways to make the content easier to understand. I use the show 30 Days to teach persuasive strategies. Many of my students remember Morgan Spurlock from his documentary in which he consumed McDonald's for 30 days. However, they are not aware of this great show that has continued to look at controversial and critical issues for 30 days. I believe students benefit from not only understanding that differences in opinion exist in real life, but witnessing the larger impact of how issues affect how people live their lives. One of my favorite days is the day we come together to debate the merits of both sides involved and express our opinions. We look at what was said, what went unsaid, and what the statistics say. The contribution of ideas and discussion increases and is more deliberate because students can speak freely and share opinions based on content and experience. When I ask questions from the book or over lecture, they often feel like there is a right and wrong answer, and they're hesitant to participate all the time. When we discuss the television show, everyone speaks up. Everyone has a point of view. I really enjoy seeing my students engaged in this manner. The last thing you need to consider as an instructor is what you can do to bring more media into your classroom. How you can incorporate music and film in your own class with your own students in a way that's going to help engage them, keep them interested, and continue this lifelong love of learning that can be easily attainable by showing them the real world connections that exist. As instructors, I think we should all strive to work outside of the course content that everyone else is teaching and consider ways to make our own class more engaging and more informative as a whole by including more examples that are relevant and realistic in terms of the students' interests and daily interactions. You can reach your students if you use music and film in the classroom.